Wallach, thank you so much for joining me on 20-Minute Leaders.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so it looks like you're in your office, but you're not. You're in quarantine in New York, right?
My home office, yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to talk about these things that are on your right and on your left pretty soon, because they're pretty fascinating. But before that, I want you to take me back to a time where you had some adversity. That adversity brought on this idea for Comigo, which is a really incredible startup that I can't wait to hear more about in a second.
Sure. So the idea for Comigo came about as a result of my experience with panic attacks. I started having panic attacks when I was a student at the Technion in Israel. And sorry?
What did you study?
I studied biomedical engineering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a long story by itself, but my panic attack, I would just say that my panic attacks were not related at all to the Technion, although it has like a very frightening, frightening stigma to it. No, so it wasn't related to the Technion, it just happened while I was there. And I was very afraid of the side effects of the anti-anxiety medications.
Oh, wait, Adi, what is a panic attack? And most people don't know even what it is and don't even know how to explain it. So what is it? Paint us a picture.
Yeah, so panic attacks, it's actually something that it's very true. Many people are not aware to what panic attacks are. I'll describe it from the person, like the person who experienced it, point of view instead of the clinical definition. But it defined as a moment of terror. And what you actually feel is that people are feeling usually three things. Either they are losing their sanity. This is one option. The other option is that people feel that they have heart attack, or that they are going to die. This is what usually are the three most common, like I would say, thoughts that people with panic attack have. And there is a lot of physical symptoms as well, like your heart is racing, you don't feel your hands and legs very well. Sometimes there is cold sweat. These are, I would say, I see these are the most common symptoms to it. You kind of feel fatigues in your muscles. And it's actually the fight or flight response that is activated in our body, and it was evolved in order to protect us when when a lion is running after us in the forest. What is not in our world, it doesn't happen anymore. But this mechanism is activated once our brain recognizes something that he thinks can be a real threat.
So I just want to clarify, everybody experiences stress. I experience stress, especially in our community where, we aim high and we work hard to get to achieve what we want. And that comes with stress, but panic attacks are not stress, right? When I experience high levels of stress in my daily life, I can't say that I have a panic attack.
No,
right?
No, panic attack is not, it's a very, I would say, very intense stress level, but it's not, it doesn't define as, it's not defined as stress. It's something different. Stress as some of the elements that we have in panic attacks, but it's not in the same, I would say, strengths or the same feelings. So you don't have all these physical symptoms. You have some physical symptoms related to stress if you are experiencing extreme stress, but not the ones of panic attacks. Sure. You don't have like racing heart in those specific moments, and it's something that is very kind of acute. Like panic attack is something acute, versus stress, which is something more, can be something more chronic.
And then you have the option of going to take medication for panic attacks, right? That's what you were about to say.
Yeah, so I was very afraid of the side effects of the medication. medication. So I tried any other solution that I was able to find, whether it's therapy and biofeedback and yoga and supplements. And I did relaxation technique 3 times a day, 20 minutes each time, which was very
Wow.
hard while studying at the Technion and leading a team at Elbic. But I was willing to do all those changes in order to really stop these panic attacks. And I think this is also one of the differences between panic attack to stress. The pain is really, really, it's really, really painful. It's a different level of pain. And I found out that while all these tools were somewhat effective to decrease the frequency of the attacks, they didn't eliminate them.
Yeah.
And I also noticed that I started to avoid places or situations that I thought may trigger an attack. So I stopped swimming because I had like one panic attack while swimming. My first panic attack was in the movies, so I stopped going to the movies. So I found out that from the outside, my life looked the same, but actually for me, it was a big difference. And this was very frustrating for me. Back then, it was mainly at night for me. That, like, fast forward a few years forward. At the beginning, it was 6, 7 panic attacks a day. After
6,
that,
7 a day.
yeah, at the beginning, it was
God.
very intense. Yeah, it was very, very intense. And it happens in a lot of times that the first period is very intense until you find some tools. So after that, of course, it was less, and this was good. But still, as I said, the fear was there all the time. The fear from the next panic attack. And I know today, I know already to explain it in the more like clinical words. And we know that the anxiety from the anxiety is the real problem, not the anxiety itself in many, many cases. So back then it was mainly at night for me. I used to wake up my husband to help me to stop panic attacks.
Wow.
One morning I woke up and I said, how come that I need to wake him up to help me to stop panic attacks if everything he knows about anxiety, I taught him. So why I can't do it myself?
Interesting.
And as an engineer, the solution that I found to this problem was to create a product that people can take with them everywhere they go and use it in order to calm themselves down immediately without being dependent on medication or on other people. So this is how it all started. Of course, that my story is with panic attacks, but we found out that what works for panic attacks works also very well for anxiety, for stress, for sleeping problems. So if you ask about the connection from the body perspective, once you're able to activate the relaxation response, it affects all those symptoms. It's just different level of intensity.
Okay, so you're an engineer and you say, okay, I'm not just gonna let this problem persist. I'm gonna find a solution so that also I don't have to wake up my husband. You develop this, you engineer this device, this product that I'm assuming is a handheld device, right? From the picture I'm seeing behind you, and you can use it to help go through a panic attack and guide yourself through it.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, very handy. Yes. So yeah. So
literally very handy. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So what Panigo does, it provides. It's actually like the first drug-free device that provides immediate calm to people who are stressed or anxious or find it hard to concentrate or find it hard to go to sleep. And it does so by regulating their breathing pattern and stimulating their senses in a way that stops symptoms in the moment, giving them back calm, control, and confidence. So this is actually what it does. It provides immediate calm. This is what it's all about.
But what does it actually do? So how does it provide this relaxation and this calmness?
Yeah, so this is a good question. So Camigo implements 3 well-known stress relief methods or anxiety relief methods. The first one is breathing regulation. So by using light and vibration signal, it guides the users to extend their exhalation length. And there is a learning mechanism that adapts the feedback to the user performances in real time, because your breathing pattern is very different than mine. It's very different from a 17-year-old swimmer, or maybe you are a 17-year-old swimmer.
No, I'm really, really not.
Or a 70-year-old smoker. So our breathing pattern is very different. And also my breathing pattern today is not my breathing pattern yesterday.
Yep.
So the device adapts itself during the use all the time to the user performances to make sure that it extends your exhalation length according to your current needs. And
Right.
by doing that, it activates the parasympathetic system in our brain, which is the system that is responsible in relaxation. So when we are able to extend our exhalation lengths, we are able to kind of let the brain know that we are out of a dangerous situation, and then the brain.
Oh, okay. So simply the act of exhaling longer signals our brain that this is a safe environment because we're allowing ourselves to exhale longer. We don't have to continue running.
In a very simplified way, exactly,
Of
yes.
course, yeah.
But yes, it activates the parasympathetic system, which is, we have like two systems, the sympathetic one that is responsible on stress and focus, and the parasympathetic, which is responsible in relaxation. And exactly as you said, we activate the parasympathetic system and our body understands that we are out of danger. So yeah, so this is one method. And the problem is that it's really hard to do it by ourselves. It's really hard to extend our exhalation length. Even if I'm like, right now we're speaking and I'll tell you, please extend your exhalation length. So you don't know how to do it. Like you don't know what is currently your exhalation length. You don't know how to extend. So and especially when you are stressed or anxious, it's even harder. And I won't go to all the explanation, but there are a lot of explanation about why. The second method is called multisensory stimulation, or grounding in the psychiatric word. And by the way that CalmiGo is designed, it's gently stimulates all the senses except of the sense of taste. And by doing that, it effectively detaches the users from the state that all their senses are overwhelmed by stress and anxiety to a calm and focused state.
Well, what does that mean? How does it, what does it actually do?
Yeah, so it gently stimulates your senses, and it does it by the fact that you have lights here that you look at, so you activate your visual sense, and the hearing with the noise of the vibration, the touch with the vibration, and there is also a soft touch to it. And we have also this part that I'll talk about in a second that has a relaxing scent. And this method is very common. It's used a lot with people with anxiety and trauma, and their therapists are guiding them to look at the pictures when you are anxious. Look at the pictures in the room, or listen to the noises, or try to feel the scents. But this is very hard again to do when you are overwhelmed. So the device is doing it just by the way it's designed, and this is the good thing about technology, that you can simplify things very easily. The third method is relaxing scent, which is this part, and we are using a unique technique that enables us to embed aromatherapy oil into a solid element, so it's totally solid. So we get all the benefits of the scent, the therapeutic and emotional benefit, without the disadvantages of liquids, which has like.
And how long does that last for? Because it can't last forever.
Each part lasts for 4 to 6 weeks, and you get 2 with the device, and you can purchase another 2 for $12. So it's
I like the model.
Yeah, so it's very affordable.
Great
and
model.
also, sorry.
No, I'm saying it's a great business model. I like it.
It's a great business model, and I think also it's very important from the user's perspective, because our sense of smell activates us very fast. Again, I won't go to all the explanations why, but you can probably remember the feeling when you're crossing someone with a perfume that you know that it's immediately kind of brings up memories and feelings.
Definitely.
So it's the same idea behind that. And using scents that prove to enhance relaxation and enables CalmiGo to provide calm very fast. So the combination of the three methods, it's actually what makes it very, very efficient. So.
I love it. Adi, I'm so curious about your go-to-market. How do you, I mean, I'm a software guy. I don't know hardware. This is fascinating for me. How do you go about selling this? Do you just publish it on Amazon? Do you go on Kickstarter? Do you advertise on TV? How do you even advertise for these things today?
Yeah, so we decided not to go to Kickstarter for various reasons. If it's interesting, I can talk about specifically why. Kickstarter is definitely a good go-to-market strategy for some products. For us, it was a question mark, and we decided not to do that. We decided to go B2C, so to sell directly to consumers. Our main channel is online through our website and Amazon, as you mentioned, and also now through the FSA store, which we are very, very happy to be included in. Yeah,
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. We are very happy with this option. Yeah, so this is our main channel, mainly Facebook right now as well. We are also collaborating with health professionals.
Right.
Yeah, so this is like we planned to do it in 2 steps. First of all, to do B2C and then B2B2C. But actually, after we launched, we started receiving, like I would say, twice a week at least, requests from health professionals to collaborate.
Really?
Yeah, so we're outreaching to them. Yeah, our strategy was to do studies. We already did a few studies. We are waiting for them to be published. So to wait for the publication, to do more studies, and only then to reach out to health professionals. But actually, we're getting requests on, as I said, like at least twice a week. So this is yeah, we are very happy to see that health professionals in the US, especially, is really eager to offer drug-free solutions to their patients, and it's amazing to see that. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I would imagine any therapist or any yoga instructor or anybody who works in this relaxation place would come and say, yeah, these are the set of solutions that you could, and Come and Go is one of them. So that makes a perfect sense to me, and obviously revenue sharing is an innate part of it. But Adi, so talk to me about how do you go this at scale? So is it mainly your focus is, okay, now sell? Are you already thinking about extensions for new products, different partnerships? As the CEO, what are you dealing with really at this point once you're out in the market and it's already selling on Amazon?
Yeah, so I think everything you said is true. So we are looking to grow ourselves, of course. We are looking to create more. We already have kind of strategic partnerships with the VA, for example. As I mentioned, we are doing studies with the Northwell Health, which is the biggest medical center in New York. So we are working on expanding our strategic partnerships for various reasons, not just for growth, but also for growth. And we are definitely looking and growing our B2C channel. In parallel, we are already thinking on the next generation as well. So this is another aspect of what we are doing. Yeah, so it's as you just described, it's on in parallel. By the way, health professionals, most of them are not interested in revenue sharing. Yeah, and I think the surprising fact was that we are getting requests also from psychiatrists. So I think the ones you mentioned are kind of it's kind of straightforward that they would like to offer things like that, but we see also collaboration from more traditional, like physicians or psychiatrists or nurse psychiatrists, which I think very surprising, and they are very interested in just offering drug-free solutions and without doing revenue sharing. We are offering that. We are offering all kinds of programs with health professionals. Most of them just want a discount for their patients and just want to take care. So I think it's really important to mention it, because I know some people have like their own kind of, I would say, perspective, or their like wrong impression about how health professionals, specifically in the US, are acting.
Definitely. Definitely. And is this something that you found helpful for yourself? I would assume yes. And that you're a user, but is that really the case? Do you actually use it?
So I don't have panic attacks anymore. My last one was like more than 4 years ago already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think like definitely for me, it made a big difference. Yes, and I'm using it today mainly when I'm working too much and I need to increase my concentration, or when I'm tired or something like that. So yeah, so these are the times that I'm using it, mainly for those cases.
Incredible. And how many people are working with you on this?
So we are 4 full-time employees, and we have a few that are part-time, and we are working also with a lot of freelancers. So we try to keep the payrolls quite low in order to survive as a startup. But from the other end, to have the specific, I would say, roles in-house very, very, very fast. So for example, the support, we are doing the support in-house from day one, although it's much cheaper to do it outside, because we think this is one of the most important things for a product in general, but definitely for a product like us. So we are kind of balancing all the time between payrolls, subcontractors, and part-time workers.
I love it. Okay, Adi, last question. 3 words that best describe you.
The hardest questions.
Oh, yeah.
Hardest question, you should say. Okay, so I'll go with whatever comes to mind, I think. And probably it's very relevant to now. So I would say like probably entrepreneur, definitely.
Of course.
Mother and an engineer. I think like these are
I love it. I know. I think that's the best combination. Entrepreneur, mother, engineer. It's like I'm a leader. I'm a community. I'm a people's person. I'm empathetic, but I'm also very technical. I go down to the details. I think that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Adi, thank you very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for helping potentially millions of people soon to be calmer and challenge their own panic and anxiety attacks. And I look forward to seeing this device on the streets.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and stay safe.
Of course. Take care.